Hello and welcome for round 4 of the VBTCR Championship. Now, everyone loves an away day, and we're coming to you from Japan for the Joker round of the championship. Drivers and fans, they've been voting from Okayama, Twin Ring Motegi and Suzuka. However, it was Tsukuba that accumulated the most votes, and that's why we come here to you live from here today. Now, it may be tiny, and it rarely hosts major circuit championships these days, but Japan's Tsukuba circuit is one of the most recognised tracks in Japan, thanks to being immortalised in countless racing sims and video games. I'm Tim Cox, and of course I have Shane Dunn alongside me in the production booth. And wow, what can we say about this championship? Yet again, it's been another classic season here at VBTCR. And we're now at round 4. Can you quite believe it? Where has the season gone? We're now into the penultimate round with only Not Kill left after today. And that's definitely going to be a classic barnstormer of a season finale. However, today, all about Tsukuba and the action that it's going to bring to the track for races 7 and 8 of the championship. I, for one, can't wait. As soon as I heard that we're going to be visiting Tsukuba, I knew it was going to bring up some absolute classic touring car action across this 2-kilometre track. It's incredibly short, but it's going to be fast, furious, and expect to see plenty of door banging and incidents all the way from start to finish across the 2 races that we had for you today. It's relatively warm here at Japan at 28 degrees Celsius. However, the track temperature nice and cool at 20 degrees, so that's going to provide plenty of grip for the drivers out there. Let's take a quick look at the championship standings, and well, it's being led, by the way, by the man who has just earned a Team Hard scholarship. It's Ryan Elliott for E-Team Hard, Huskenveld. Thomas Dandridge, he's not too far behind him, only 6 points adrift. And expect to see great things from him. We've seen so many good drives from him so far in the Hyundai Veloster. Martin Pearson, he's debuting in the championship. The Sapphire Simsport, he's currently in 3rd. Only Mats Borgansen just 1 point behind him. With John Bailiff, only 4 points behind for the Pulse Esports. We've got Ryan Smith, Sam Van Ols, Roman Pesh, who haven't had all season, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. He's already got 2 victories to his name so far this season, the only driver to do so. Michael Gray, he's in 9th with Fraser Geraghty rounding out your top 10 on 123 points, but not far behind him, only on 3 points deficit, is Team ORD driver Joseph Gibson. We've got Jack Johns, Al Neal. Shane Dunn, he's in 14th on 110. And then on around 100 for UK Sim Racing is Stephen Fry. Jack Mace, he's currently in 16th place in the championship after that win last time out at Alton Park in race 2. We've got Jacob Money, Isaac Bartley and McCabe taking up to 20th place on 69 points, but joined jointly with Ricky Edwards, the AM driver. Scott Malcolm, he's in 22nd with Scott Morris, Young, Simmons, Clist, Crowther, Goodacre, who, let's not forget, the AM driver who managed to get on the podium overall in race 2 at round 1 at Silverstone. It feels so long ago now, but definitely a nice little coup for the AM drivers, that one. In 29th, it is Steele and Martin in 30th, but all tied on points with a Goodacre. Dan Fulton, he's in 31st with Miko Sky in 32nd, then McGarity on 39 points in 33rd place. He's in 34th. Johannes Lippert, well, he'll be hoping for another absolute cracker after that winner last time out in race 2 in the AM category. But let's take a look at the Rookies Championship. Ricky Edwards, he's leading the way on 69 points, now 10 points ahead of Morris, who's got all the work to do if he wants to try and catch him. Although Simmons in 3rd place, he's not too far behind and still has a chance to make up some ground. Likewise, Clist as well in 4th. Goodacre in 5th. Might be a bit disappointed with that one, seeing as those good results mentioned earlier. Tied on points with Steele and Martin 7th. Sky, he's in 8th on 43 points with McGarity in 9th on 39. There's Goldies on 37 points. Johannes Lippert on 33 points in 11th place with his teammate of TR powered by Geeks Energy. Bit of drift from him. Some 9 points behind is Nick Kent in 12th. And Elliot James, unlucky for some, maybe 13 on 6 points, but he'll be looking to make improvements in these last couple of rounds of the championship. Let's just take a look at the team standings. Well, it's in Team Hard leading the way on 347 points, 13 points clear of Pulse's Esports, with Sapphire Sinsport largely helped by Martin Pearson's points haul, currently in 3rd. Goldwing Motorsport, they are in 4th with UK Sim Racing in 5th on 207 points. And then some 5 points behind them is the Racing Team in 6th, Insignia in 7th, Team ORD 165 points in 8th, and then Spud Motorsport and Checkers Racing running out the top 10, 134. XVR Sim Racing, they're in 11th with TR powered by Geeks Energy in 12th. Positively Racing 13th, and then M1D Racing on 69 points in 14th. Team Madsen Mortal, Ignium Motorsport, Apex Racing Academy, and Spotless Motorsport rounds out the team's championship. Let's get trackside and let's get ready to go racing for race 1. And Pascal Pole, a good start, but not as good. Smith, absolute barnstormer from the 2nd row of the grid, heading up the inside into turn 1, and he's gonna make it stick. What an absolutely electric start from him as we race all the way down now through turns 2, 3 and 4, and it's getting a bit niggly in the midfield. We've got 2 wide, we've got 3 wide, we've got 4 wide. It's all happening here, and Pearson just getting a bit held up on that outside line. He went high to try and carry as much speed through, but ended up having the door slammed right in his face. And Dandridge, well, I said he's had some inspired drives this season earlier in the show, and already trying to make progress as we're round turn 8, the hairpin, and now the drag down the longest part, the longest straight, in fact, on this track. It's only 2 kilometers, and we're already round to complete lap 1. It's happening already, and they're bumper to bumper. They're banging body panels left, right, and centre. As Dandridge tries to make it the move side, Pearson just covering him off and making progress himself. Gibson demoted down to 8th and could lose another place to Dandridge. But Thornton, he's on the attack as well. The Team ORD driver trying to back up his teammate. He's only 2 places ahead of him as he heads down low. And that is done there for Spud Motorsport. Trying to find his way through the traffic and rubbing doors on the exit of 5 there. Really battling hard right now with McCabe as these two trying to be the last of the late breakers. Dunn is going to be on that inside line, but McCabe's going to carry more speed around that outside line. And now the drag race down the back straight. How late do they dare be on the brakes? Well, McCabe swoops around from the outside, but he's going to run it in a bit too deep. Dunn's going to come back at him as they're now side by side across the line, and we've got a 3 wide here going on up ahead of them. It's all happening out on track as Dandridge trying to find a way through past Gibson, unsuccessfully so far. Marais, he's got a good start. He's kept his nose clean. He's 6th currently, the South African, the Honda Civic Type R. As we look back from Gibson, his mirrors full to the brim with Dandridge's Hyundai Veloster down into the hairpin. See if we've got any alternate lines. A bit hesitant there, Gibson. Dandridge is going to be on the attack, turning up to the pressure. Right to the maximum setting now. Is he just going to relinquish? No, he's going to try and follow it through. Right round the outside is Dandridge. Hold tight, he's just about clinging on in there. But he's going to be on the outside. He's still got work to do. But he makes the move stick. The Racing Team driver moving up a place there in spectacular fashion. And now Murray, despite all of the drama happening behind him, hasn't really been able to capitalise like Pearson has. He's pulled away. So, main perk of that Honda Civic Type R is its straight line speed. It's not going to come in too handy here today. It's further down the field. The rookies. No, rookies by name, certainly not by nature. As we see this Cliss and Morris right now scrapping out over 17th overall. With Steele not too far behind them. Desperately trying to stay in tow, and it's going to be made easier if these two keep battling like this. Yet again, we're seeing that outside line working incredibly well through turn 9, the third or final corner. Still, these two practically holding hands. They've been side by side for so much of the track, but finally, Morris gets the move done over Clist. And oh, I can hear a bit of banging going on ahead. Something's clearly happening up in front. And there you go, Clist. Well, I'll be near Tokyo, but he's playing Tokyo Drift, and that's going to allow Dandridge through. He says, thank you very much. I'm going to have that. Oh, and well, that was a lunge and a half there from Murray. And it's cost him dearly as all not maybe the best of rejoins there. Desperate to get back into the action. What a long line of cars we have. Dandridge, another driver, losing out because of that. All his hard work undone. This train starting with Gibson in the Audi RS3 with his teammate Fulton just behind him. Dandridge on the attack once again, trying to make up for lost ground. That's McCabe dispatched of one of the Hyundai drivers. And McCabe in the Elantra. And he's got Dunn just behind him. You see Smith there trying to find a bit of an opportunistic move. Scott can't quite pull it off. Garrity stays ahead of him in the Honda. Down into turn 8. Literally, you could barely fit a cigarette paper between these drivers. You could throw a blanket over them. And Smith making a bit of a fake to the inside there, trying to keep Garrity guessing. Looking just to hook it up on the exit to launch and make an attack into turn 1. Now we're going to see him slot it up the inside. Well, he's going to give it a good go. Garrity's going to fight back around the outside, holding on for dear life right now, the Insignia driver. And he's going to keep hold of that position. But Smith's saying, no, you don't have it so easily. I'm staying right alongside you. These two incredibly still side by side for half a lap now. I know that's not a great deal amount of time here at Tsukuba and this short track. But Garrity just ahead, edges ahead. But Smith giving her a bump and a nudge out the way there to cement that position and get the move done. But Beret, well, he's looking opportunistic, trying to find a way back. Moving left, moving right. Moving left again. But he needs to be careful because money's tucked up right behind. The three Honda Civic Type R's squabbling right now over 12th place. Some action going on in the background there as well. Ray yet to find a way past, being really caught out by that lunge where he tried to regain that place off of Dandridge. He's up in 6th place. Costs them both so dearly, but for battle going on here for the lead in rookie class. Garrity just getting ahead there in the Hyundai Elantra for Spud Motorsport. However, James letting him have it so easy as we look on board now from Morris's perspective. Practically a roadblock in front of him where these two still side by side. Morris just happy to sit behind them, looking to pick up some scraps from the fallout of these two, and there we go. James turns in, and it's just met the side of McGarrity's car. And what damage has that caused to McGarrity? Because Morris now, he knows it's time to attack. Garrity's going to be clearly unsettled by that. One traverses a Lantra as Murray gets ahead and all elbows out there. Not just out, clearly sharpened as well. As we see Scott Morris here and McGarity still fighting it out for 15th overall, that lead in rookies. Beyond lap 10 out of 20 in race 1. As we look back from McGarity, Morris flicking left and right and getting right onto the bumper of McGarity. As he tries to find a way past. McGarity now back into his rhythm. Bliss currently the driver on the podium as they're banging bumpers. Surely now for Morris, this is all about following closely and setting up a move into turn 9, the final corner. As we head back to this long train that starts off with Gibson. Then we've got Thornton, Dandridge, McCabe, Dunn, all involved. Smith isn't too far behind too. It'll only take one minor incident for him to come right back in the fold. Pesh, he leads from Elliott. Those two have really checked out in the distance. You see from the track map the lead they've opened up. Bailiff currently in third, Van Os fourth, Pearson. And then we've got this group of Gibson, Thornton, Dandridge, McCabe, Dunn. On to lap 11. We know how good Dandridge is on the brakes. How good that Veloster has been for him all season. Really been at one man and machine in that car. See Money trying to defend from Garrity. So he's happened to steal. He's headed to the pit, so not too sure what's happened there. It's Garrity trying to find a way past Money. Right now with the car positioning that Money's doing, he really is on the money. Garrity just has a bit of a move out, making Money think twice there into turn 9. Just has to back out of it. Using all of that green AstroTurf on the outside and a bit more. So he looks to defend this 13th place, but out in front, well, yeah, she's managed to pull away from Elliott. Only 1.5 seconds. These two have been incredibly close for so much of the race. They really have pulled away from Bailiff, who's looking into a relatively comfortable third. He's got around about 2 seconds between himself and Van Olst, the Belgian. The Audi RS 3 and 4th with Pearson in 5th. On board with Pesh. 2 E-Team hard drivers looking for a 1-2. If Pesh can hold on, he'll be on for the Grand Chelem. Starting on pole, leading every single lap, taking the victory, having the fastest lap of the race. You see the way he's just really hooked up in the Hyundai. Just absolutely on point with every single braking mark, every single turning point. The car currently lapped everyone up to and including 18th place. That's Martin. Can he lap the whole of the rookie class? Well, it remains to be seen. He's got his work cut out there. If anyone can do it, he certainly can. Elliott's still chasing hard. As we see Bailiff in third. Looking really comfortable now, pulling away from Van Olst behind him. It's Gibson now managing to just get away from this group. Something he struggled to do early on. Now Thornton backing up the pack. Dandridge, McCabe and Dunn all behind him as we look down from the helicopter into turn 4 towards 5. The corners really come at you thick and fast around Tsukuba. Here's one of the cars, McCabe. Scott for M1D Racing. Everyone just covering off one another now. Just biding a bit of time here. Currently on lap 15 out of 20, so 3/4 race distance completed. However, with 1 minute laps, it doesn't leave a lot of time left on the clock as we look back from Thornton. The Audi RS3 to the Veloster of Dandridge. The Elantras of McCabe and Dunn. And Smith isn't too far behind either. He could come along for the fight to make this really, really interesting. It's the last couple of laps. Whereas Murray, you can just about catch him in the distance too, in that Honda Civic Type R. Onto the brakes into 8. He's going to get the best exit out of here. You can see McCabe just looking a little bit racy onto the back of Dandridge. That's just allowing Thornton just to open up a little bit of a gap, just give him that bit of breathing space he craves so desperately to hold on to that 7th place. So, 7th place he currently finds himself in. As we've seen already, one tiny mistake around here can cost you so dearly. To be fair, we've seen it all season long. The championship being so fiercely contested. Now Smith coming right up onto the back of this group. Nobody really having an answer to Thornton, as much as he might appear to be a bit of a roadblock right now. Still there, Murray. He's not far from off joining onto the rear of this train. You have to wonder that bit of damage Dandridge has got in the front of his car, just how much it is hampering him here. We come across the line. We're only going to have 2 laps left. Right now, Dandridge is under pressure from McCabe. Right on board with McCabe. Dandridge goes defensive. He knows he's under threat from McCabe. McCabe just trying to find a way past, looking for the cutback, but he needs to be careful because Dunn is looking to exploit any sort of gap that he leads. And this is the trouble when you're in the middle of a freeway battle. Because as much as you want to mount an attack, you have to be careful of the car behind, because they will pick up any pieces and pounce when they have the opportunity. It's back to the battle for the lead in rookies. McGarrity still leading from Morris. Spud Motorsport driver, and that number 69 Hyundai Elantra, still holding him off. Talking of holding off and Hyundais, Dandridge just about holding on to him and trying desperately equally to stay onto the coattails of Thornton as they all head down to the inside. Surely this is going to be McCabe through onto the brakes. Dandridge trying to hold on around the outside. What is Dunn going to do? Is he going to try and pick Dandridge in his pocket? Well, he's going to give it a good go. He pulls out alongside. Smith's getting involved too. Don't discredit Murray. He's good onto the brakes. It's the South African. And look at Smith, he tucks himself right up behind Dandridge, who's trying to move left and right to protect his line. There's a bit of a collision there. And all 4 different cars available in this championship and on the iRacing service are right now fighting it out over 9th place. You could practically throw a blanket over them as Smith looks down low, carrying much more speed out of turn 8. Compared to Dunn, trying to slip it up the inside. Can he get the move done? Dunn defends hard, holding on, and he's out onto the grass, nearly loses the rear end. There's a flash to the light. Not overly impressed right now, but here comes Murray. He's on the attack, trying to capitalise where Dunn just got a bit loose and out onto the grass. Next to the elbows out as Smith is, wow, onto the brakes, lunges down the inside. He's Kevin Estra style, a pass on the grass. Might get looked at by the stewards, that one, as he was more onto the grass than on the track there, and it looks like he's just giving the plays back. Dunn gets 11th back right now, but what hasn't helped is, due to them being side by side so much, they've dropped off the back of Dandridge and Smith as Thornton goes defensive to hold off the advances of McCabe. And head on to the final lap. The white flag has flown here at Tsukuba. Race 1. McCabe now looking your bookie's favourite to make another place onto the brakes. And he gets the move done. And I tell you what, Dandridge and Smith have caught right up onto the back of them. This is going to make for an interesting last few corners. There's Vanols trying to fend off for the last few parts of the lap here against Pearson. He's also got Gibson to think about behind him, but there is Persh. Just coming around the final turn to take victory here in race 1 to make it his 3rd win of the season. With a flash of the lights, a wiggle of the car, he gets the win here. Elliott in 2nd. These two finished 1st and 2nd. Way back at race 1 and round 1. As we see Van Olsen, he's just about going to hold on to 3rd. But what's interesting to me is what's happening behind him. Smith right out onto the grass. So's Murray. Not going to get any advances in places there. Here are your results for race 1. Pesh taking the victory, making it his 3rd win of the season. With Elliott, it's also his 3rd 2nd place of the season. Bailiff rounding out your podium. What has been his 1st time on the podium, I do believe, as well. So great result for him. He's going to be chuffed to bits with that one. Van Olsen 4th, with Pearson 5th, Gibson 6th, McCabe 7th. Thornton holds on to 8th in the end. Dandridge has settled for 9th, with Smith in 10th place. Dunn 11th, Murray 12th, and then it's Garrity and Money with 15th place going to your winner in rookies. That was McGarrity, with Morris behind him and Leppett rounding out your podium in rookies. Clist finishes 4th in rookies and 18th overall for Apex Racing Academy. Moving through the field, Martin, last driver on the lead lap, in 19th place, with Elliot James with Insignia 1 lap down. Ricky Edwards and Duncan Steele, 2 other drivers, 2 laps down. And Derek Crowther, unfortunately, didn't make it past the first lap from 20 laps off the lead, obviously. But as we head into the intermission, let's talk about touring cars in Japan. Now, you might think it's full of lots of exciting Japanese cars. However, Japan has been without a touring car championship since 1998 until 2019. Some 21 years. Can you believe it? When touring cars return, and they run on the same weekend as Super Formula, quite possibly the most important single-seater category in Japan and possibly even the world over. As I was saying earlier, you might think it's full of lots of exciting Japanese cars. Of course, they bring us so many. However, it's only Honda's Civic Type R that appears from the Japanese contingent. We have the Alfa Romeo Giulia, the Audi RS3, the Cupra TCR, and the Volkswagen Golf. And equally, the championship does not visit Tsukuba. Can you believe it? It's ripe for action. Of course, a lot of that comes down to the scheduling for Super Formula, where those cars wouldn't really work on this track. Now, in terms of the championship for last season, Hirobon, number 19, and the Cooper Leon TCR took the championship victory, and quite convincingly as well. It was some nearly 30 points clear of second place, and across the 6-round championship, that really is a big old margin to have. But I'll tell you what, there's lots of variety within the championship, lots of excitement, and to be fair, I think us visiting here does almost give them a bit of an excuse maybe to have a bit of a breakaway round and come and visit Tsukuba, because from what we've seen from Race 1, I'm sure Race 2 is going to be no different. It is a real spectacle for the viewers at home. Well, let's get straight into Race 2. Of course, that reverse grid going to make all of the difference here, as we've seen so many times this season. And let's get ready to go racing once more. Steele leads away. And so Steele not getting the best of starts. Apologies. James is going to sneak past him into second. Edwards absolutely blinded from him, and there's contact in the midfield. Someone, the Insignia Honda Civic Type R, is being spun around on the inside of turn 1. Didn't quite catch who that was. I think that might have been Garrity, in fact. Falling right to the back of the field. Still stationary. Fortunately, Crabber hasn't made the grid. We're going to see him today. Disappointing, really, but Murray trying to make up for that mistake in Race 1 that cost him so dearly, from roughly about the same sort of position he was in. Right now, he's currently in 5th. He was in 6th previously in Race 1 when he had that coming together with Dandridge that cost them both so heavily. But Edwards, the Welshman, he is streaking away. 1.8 seconds clear across this incredibly short circuit. A blistering opening lap from him. As you can see, it's all argy-bargy up front. James running out wide. Lippett's there as well. So Steele. The rookies desperate to remain on the podium overall, as all the Honda, another one, the Insignia Hondas having issues at turn 1. That's twice in the first 2 laps. This time, hits James and tried to instantly make back for his heads down low, tried to make his way past James. It's not going to quite get the move done there. It's Murray getting involved too. Smith coming in for the fight. And Steele is going to drop at least 1 place, possibly 2. Ooh, just nearly makes contact with the rear of Murray's Civic. And not getting the best of exits. And Smith is going to say thank you very much in the drag race down to turn 9. Let's talk of the drag races. Pearson currently having one there too. As we see Smith is surely going to sneak it up the inside and get the move done, and Steele goes from 4th to 6th in 1 lap. Not the best lap 2 that he could have hoped for. As we see Pearson, the Audi RS3, trying to find a way past Morris. And they're side by side. So much have we seen side by side action for so many corners on so many laps here at Tsukuba. This announcement coming here, I was so excited because I knew it would deliver on great action and excitement, especially for the neutrals. Talking of drama and excitement, oh, bit of contact there between James and Murray. James desperate to stay on the podium overall, but Van Olst, well, he's in full attack mode right now on the inside against the Hyundai of Morris. Starting to fall through the order right now was the rookie driver. To feel the pace differential between himself and the stronger drivers in the championship as Money and Dandridge. Wow, that could have been a bit too close. Pearson now leading this 4-car group himself. Van Olst, Morris and Gibson, followed by what was a 6-car group behind them, being led by Money. And now Elliot James of Insignia, and that Honda Civic Type R, that last place on the podium. Trying to fend off Murray, who has another lunge. He's already tried that before. We saw it versus Dandridge. And oh, James is off. He's into the wall. It's going to cost him dearly. Smith flashing the lights. Oh no, and he's come round. And he's stranded in the middle of the track, and that's a big, big incident. Oh no, Dunn caught up in that as well. I think Bailiff was another car too. Big drama there. See, I think that is Dunn just stranded on the back straight. It's Elliot up to 11th so far. Pesh behind him too. Both of them trying to find a way past Dandridge, who's battling it out with money. You see, pretty much have been since the start of the race. Coming in lap 5 out of 20 in race 2. And these reverse grids really do put a cat amongst the pigeons in terms of excitement. As Elliot, he's incredibly good on the brakes. A lot closer than I dare be against Money. He moves to the right. Is he letting him through? I think he might be. Knows where to pick his battles, and he tucks right behind him. Potentially going to use Elliot and Pesh as almost a bit of a battering ram to follow them through as they make their way for the pack. As Morris, has he picked up a slow down there as he dives to the inside, well out of everyone's way. Not too sure where he would have picked it up, but Edwards still leading the way. Leppit right behind him. These two rookie drivers fighting out for the win overall. Could you imagine having one of the rookie drivers taking the victory overall, let alone two of them on the podium? What a story that would be to tell here from Japan in the Joker round of the championship. Now that is Thornton behind him. Now he's currently a lap down in 19th place, so he's just going to sit behind them and let these two battle it out. There's Leppit, the Swede, has a bit of a look up the inside. Edwards pushed out wide and looking for the cut back here, but I think that's going to be a change for the lead and cemented now. It's Thornton. He knows he's quicker, but I mean, fair play to him. He's just happy to sit behind them, trying not to trip over them. As much as if he could get past them, he'd streak away from the pair of them. You can see 18th place Dunn just gallivanting away. What does Thornton do when Murray and Smith catch up? Because you get the feeling there's only going to be time before they do. And the way these three philosophers are battling, they're going to struggle to catch up. Dandridge, Elliot and Pesh. Three of the key to protagonists we've seen this season. And Elliot, interesting bit of racecraft there. Pushed Dandridge in deep to get him on the cutback and get up the inside. Surely this is going to be the move done here for 8th place. And is Pesh going to follow Elliot through? Well, he may well potentially. They're still side by side as they exit out of turn 9. Dandridge absolutely clinging hold of this 8th place, but you feel like this is done and dusted now as Pesh tries to make him move Dunn up the inside, tries to follow his teammate through. Squeezed there by Dandridge, who is going to be on the inside line here for turn 4. This is just going to allow Elliot to pull away. As Pesh still keeping his nose in there, has a bit of a squeeze and darts off to the inside there, ricocheting off Dandridge, who holds on to a knife. And how the pair of them kept their cars on the track, I'm not too sure. That could have been a big incident. Look at the gap that Elliot has already built. 9/10 of a second, nearly a whole second. It's those two squabble it out for 9th, but Murray has got Smith right behind him. Pearson and Van Olds. As Thornton still acting almost like rear gunner for these top 2 rookie drivers. But we've seen a gap emerge now. Leppit pulling away from Edwards. As this is 3rd place in rookies, but all the way down in 12. Morris. He's got McCabe. But Clist is there as well. Oh, no, apologies for these Money, Morris and McCabe. So that really bodes well for Morris, who's actually got around about 9.5 second advantage over Clist. So he's looking comfortable right now for 3rd in rookies as Pesh bump drafting Dandridge through turn 8. Trying to muscle him into position where he can't get the move done quite so easily. But Dandridge is mo mug. We've seen him make that outside line. Round turn 9 worked before, but is this going to be the time where it doesn't work? They're still side by side in the race down to turn 1. Dandridge versus Persk. And the German finally gets the move done as everyone looking a bit squirrely behind them on the brakes. Rear ends getting loose. As we see McCabe and Morris in the two Elantras. With money in the Honda. Almost holding them up. They're all battling over who's going to have an attempt at it, but at least he needs to calm down, stop battling one another and work together to get past money because he is pulling away. There's Scott Morris still defending hard into 8 and they make contact. Incredible defending as Edwards now under attack from Murray. Smith, he's in the fight as well. So he'll come down on the brakes into turn 1. Edwards still holding on to this one. Still fending off Murray and Smith. And if he's clever about this, he'll back them in and let them start fighting. But with that elbows out move there from Murray, says, no, you don't have third place off me, Smith. I want to be on the podium here in Japan. But all this battling, all this squabbling has brought the train behind them right into the fight. As Smith lunges up the inside of Murray, they're going to make contact, and Edwards, well, this is playing out right to his advantage, but here comes Pearson. He's on the attack now, and surely he's going to dine out on a 2-for-1 meal deal here and pick both their pockets and head up into third as him and Smith are side by side through the final corner, and Pearson is just going to emerge out the other side in front. But look at the long line of cars as they fan out across the track. Onto the brakes, Van Olsen's made progress as we've got a 3 wide into turn 1 in spectacular fashion, and they all make it through somehow. With Elliott getting promoted up in 7th ahead of Gibson, and Edwards has got them all queued up, all bickering behind when they can't sort themselves out. Van Olsen, Murray there making contact, the two teammates. The last thing you want is having a blue on blue incident, and Edwards goes defensive. Pearson trying to position him, but here comes Smith and they make contact, the two Audi RS3s. And yet again, Edwards lives to fight another day. All while this is going on, Lippert, he's headed off at the road. He's checked out. He's 3.5 seconds left. 12 laps complete. Out of 20. 8 remaining. Who's going to come out on top? Who's going to get that last place on the podium? I don't know, because look at the track map. You can see the big queue that is emerging behind Edwards. It goes through. You've got Pearson, Smith, Van Ols, Murray, Elliott, Gibson, Pesh, Dandridge, all involved in it. As we look down from the helicopter, and you can see Van Ols trying to find a way past Pearson, trying to go right round the outside, the long way round around Edwards, who defends, but surely Pearson up the inside into turn 5. This is going to be the move done for second place, and Edwards could even fall off the podium overall. Here comes Van Ols, he's now on the attack, and going to head up the inside, but Murray, oh, a big send on the brakes, and Edwards is going to lose a place to Murray as he got the hurry on. And the Welshman trying to invoke that fiery dragon from within him to fend off as many people as he can. Lap 14 out of 20, 6 to go here at Tsukuba, and still very much everything to play for. The fireworks have fully been lit here in Japan. That's Edwards all sent spinning. Oh, and what was second overall as he reverses onto the track. There could even be broken suspension, and he could even fall off the podium in the rookie class as Morris has got past him. He's down to 13. That touch paper. Well, it hasn't been lit. It's been fully set on fire, but it's still burning bright in the land of the rising sun. We're seeing people trying to rise up through the standings. Lippert now 4 seconds clear of this gaggle of cars. Can he hold on? A rookie to take the victory here in Japan would be an amazing story to walk away with. Pearson in second. Then we've got Van Ols, Murray, Elliott, Pesh, Gibson, Dandridge. Smith now up into this fight as well. All the manufacturers involved. So many different teams. So many different nationalities as well. Top 6 has got 6 different nations fighting it out. And that's before we've even begun. The Brits and the 2 Scots of Gibson, Dandridge, Smith and McCabe as Van Ols gives Pearson a little tap just to remind him that he's there. And this second place is not going to go away without a fight. Belgium looking good on the brakes once again. But Pesh and Elliott, the 2 teammates, well, they've traded places. In the order that they finished race 1 as Pearson plays the defensive card early there. Makes Van Ols do the work right around the outside. He's not going to get it done. Just moves the car just that little bit towards the centre of the track. Just to cover things off. To the left and to the right. And Van Ols once again giving him the nudge from behind to know that he's there. Pearson's going to know because that bright livery will be filling his mirrors. As the 2 Audi RS3s. Well, they share bodywork, but these 2 are trying to literally exchange panels as Pesh looking adventurous on the brakes there against Murray. Yeah, teammate behind, trying to make advances too. 4 laps to go when they cross the line. Place your bets now. Who is going to grab these last 2 places on the podium? And all this battling is playing right into Lepit's hand. The Swede, 3.6 seconds clear. Although the gap is shrinking a little bit, it's not closing like you would expect to. Because this lot just can't decide who wants to take the charge to him. They want to fight amongst one another. Just about settling down, and there is your leader, Johannes Lepit. Back to this absolutely intriguing battle. Van Ols trying to just position and manoeuvre Pearson into a place that he can get the move done. Pearson using all of that multi-class experience that he has in his armoury as Pesh makes contact with Murray, and he's out. Get your black marker of doom, because that is Pesh crossed off the list in this battle for the last 2 places on the podium. 2 laps to go. 4 kilometres is all that remains of race 2. And what can Pesh's teammate Elliott do? He's up to 4th as he leaves Murray and Gibson fighting amongst themselves in his wake. But I tell you what, Elliott is running out of time if he wants to try and snatch a place off the podium. There is Dandridge. He's got Smith right behind him. McCabe in there too. Everyone pushing it to the absolute max. As Pearson still defends the advances of Van Ols. They come across the line with 2 laps left. No, apologies, 2 laps left, did we? And this, I genuinely don't know how this is going to go. At the moment, it's looking good for Pearson and Van Ols to be on the podium. Elliott has tried as hard as he can, can't seem to quite catch up. Dandridge and Smith, they're side by side through turns 2, 3, and into 4. Banking, that camber can really, really help you achieve that side-by-side action through turn 4. Just carry that speed on the outside. And has this been, we've seen so many times in this race, drivers side-by-side for pretty much half the lap, but Dandridge emerges out in front of Smith. And in 7th. Despite these 2 fighting, I've taken a bit of time out of Lepit, but there's the white flag flies. 1 lap left to go, and wow, an aggressive move from Van Olst as he swayed left and right. Pearson lights up the front tyres to get the car pointing in the right direction again. Elliott, he's up into the podium now, and Pearson has to do the hard work because he's got Murray and Gibson right onto his bumper. But here comes Elliott. He could sniff a chance at second place here. And now Van Olst, from where he's been the attacker against Pearson for so many laps, is now having to defend from Elliott. There's Murray. Well, he's been trying to be late in the last break because yet again, and he emerges out the other side. Oh, and nearly further contact between Gibson and Pearson. Pearson clearly not impressed by that with the flashing lights, but Lepit, the rookie driver, is going to take the victory here in race 2 from Tsukuba at round 4 of the VBTCR Championship in style. What a victory! And that confirms it for you. The TCR powered by Geeks Energy driver from the rookie class taking the overall victory here at Tsukuba in Japan. What a drive from him. Van Olst in the end, second. Elliott gets himself up onto the podium of what has been an absolutely epic finish to the penultimate round of the championship. Gibson in 4th, Pearson in the end 5th. If we're being demoted there, Pearson, Dandridge 6th, Smith 7th, McCabe 8th, Money 9th, and then it's 2nd and 3rd, 10th and 11th from rookie class, Morris and Steele. 12th was McGarrity, some 5 seconds adrift of the cars in front of him. Roman Pesh in the end heads down to 13th after that contact. We saw him out on the gravel with Kliss 14th, Murray to make it down to 15th in the end, Dunn 16th. Martin, last driver on lead lap, like he was in race 1 in 17th. Then 1 lap down is Fulton, Bailiff and Ricky Edwards, who could have been on the podium himself. Elliott, after strong running initially, that incident cost him dearly and had to retire the car. Wow. What does that mean for the championship standings? Well, the top 2, they remain as they are. Elliott still leads the way from Dandridge, but now in a 30-point advantage he has over that second place driver. Van Olst climbs 4 places into 3rd. Only 4 points ahead of Pearson, who he has demoted down to 4th. Smith is 5th, Bailiff 6th. Roman Pesh up a place into 7th on 209 points, but look at how close Smith, Bailiff and Pesh are. Only 2 points separating the 3 of them. Looking forward to the final round. See how that one develops. Gibson in 8th. Mats Borgansen in 9th. Shane Dunn rounds out the top 10 on 145 points. 10 points behind Dunn is McCabe. In 11th with Garrity. Murray in the 13th. Tied on points with Garrity. Likewise is Money on 126 points. Then it's Gray, Johns, Neil, and Johannes Lepit with that victory overall. Climbs 17 places into 18th. Fry 19th. Jack Mace is 20th. Dan Fulton, he's had a good round. He's up 10 places in 21st. Barkley in 22nd. Then it's Morris. Kliss rises 2 places into 24th. Steele at 4 on 77 points into 25th. Edwards, well, could have had such a better round, but drama not going his way, and he's demoted down 5 places into 26th. Martin, another solid round for him, sitting on the lead lap in both races in 27th, climbs 3 places. Tied on points with him is Alfred McGarrity, 74 points. Then it's Malcolm and Young to round out your top 30 with Simmons, Crowther, Goodacre. Anthony was the only driver from rookies to get onto the podium. Well, that's now been displaced by Lepit with a win overall. Bicker Sky in 34th and Goldies in 35th. With running out the table, Coombe, Kent, Elliott and Lee Walker 39th and yet to score a point. Let's have a look at the Rookie Championship and climbing 10 places and right to the top of the table on 102 points is Johannes Leppert, and now some 18 points clear of Morris in second place. Kliss is in third for Apex Racing Academy with Duncan Steele. He's at 2 places into fourth. Edwards, as mentioned earlier, he's dropped a few places. He's down into fifth now. William Martin in sixth. Just been slowly chipping away. Bit of a slow burner, but tied on points with Alfie McGarity on 74. Neil Goodacre, he's in eighth. The Spotless Motorsport with Peter Simmons and Mika Sky, 2 Checkers racing drivers rounding out your top 10. Then it's their teammate Peter Goldies in 11th with Nick Kent. The opposite end of the table to his 2 teammates of Leppert and Morris, TR powered by Geeks Energy driver on 24 points in 12th, with Elliot James running out the Rookie Championship. But let's take a little look at the Teams Championship. Well, they extend it even further. E-Team Hard, Huskerville, now on a 510 points and looking good. I do believe that actually gives them the Teams Championship, without any major drama on the final round. Pulses Esports, they are in second on 309 points, 91 points, with Goldwing Motorsport climbing a place to the podium in the Team Championship on 363. Sapphire Simsport drop to fourth with Team ORD. Good round for them, rising 3 places on 286 points. Verve Racing Scene remains 6th with TR Power Geeks Energy. Thanks to that win from Leppert, climbed 5 places to 225 points in 7th. Spud Motorsport are 8th, Insignia 9th, and UK Sim Racing dropped 5 places to 10th. They've got M1D Racing, Checkers, Positively Racing, XVR Sim Racing, Apex Racing Academy, Martin's Discount Scores, Team Madsen Mortal, and Ignium Spoke Motorsport rounding up the table. Wow. I don't know about you, but coming into this round, I thought it was going to be a little bit spicy. I thought we were going to see plenty of drama, action, and excitement. Wow. Did we in bucket loads? What a race for race 2. Race 1 was an absolute touring car classic in its own right. Before we even get started on race 2, I always had a sneaky feeling that we would see a rookie driver take a victory. With the reverse grid and race 2, we've seen, it really puts the cat amongst the pinners into race results. But Johannes Leppert, I'd off my hat to you, sir. What a drive and taking the victory in race 2. It was an absolute classic. But wow, from myself, Tim Cox, and Shane Dunn in the broadcast centre. The VBTCR Championship, we'll see you in a week's time at Knock Hill.